You're right, guys. If you love a chili sauce that's both fiery and flavourable, you're going to love this one. The recipe was sent to me by Robert, one of my viewers, and it is now set to be on my go-to list. I'll be showing you how I made this hot and sweet chili sauce. It's easier than you think, and it has the perfect balance of heat and sweetness. And if anyone else has a recipe for me to try, get it sent in. I won't talk you through the ingredients at the start of this one. It's all there on the screen and on the menu sheet, except for the water, which is hiding behind the menu sheet. Here we go then. And the first step for this recipe is to get all the vegetables chopped up into, I'd say, fairly small sized pieces. Makes it easier to blitz and blend together. With the sweet pepper there, I'm taking the pith out, the placenta if you like. It's not a nice taste. Peel and chop the onion, peel and slice the garlic, and I did the chillies last of all because I didn't want to get the juices on my fingers. That's an elephant garlic, the greenish looking one. Yeah, I've been caught out a few too many times in the past touching my eyes and other places, shall we say. I used 2 cayennes and a chocolate habanero for this in the end. And what I always do now, after the paprika incident from last year, I stick a skewer into the top of the chilli, the placenta part, and I wipe the skewer onto my tongue. And that way I can just gauge the heat of the chillies before I use them. Into the food processor with this, I'm using my Ninja. It's got loads of blades, makes short work of this sort of thing. And 400 ml of water. And blitz it down to the size of chunks or pieces or bits that you like. That's just about it for me. There were 1 or 2 larger pieces, as you can see there, and I just fished them out a bit later on. Into a pan and get it boiling. In with 250 ml of white distilled vinegar, a teaspoon of salt, and this is where I differed from Robert's recipe a little bit. He specified 200 grams of white granulated sugar, but what I'm doing, I'm using 100 ml of honey and 80 grams of granulated sugar. The honey's a little bit sweeter, and I think it's going to thicken up the sauce a little bit better. Get it up to the boil like I said, and then turn the heat down to a gentle simmer. And what we're going to do now is reduce the liquid. I took it down by about ½ an inch on the side of the pan. You see there? It thickens up a little bit, and it means you've got to use less cornflour. I still needed to use some cornflour slurry because I wanted it a bit thicker. So I used a 1-to-1 mix, a teaspoon of corn flour and a teaspoon of water, and mix it up into a slurry. Pour it in and stir it in, and that's just about it done. Quick taste test. Here we go. Oh, just right, just right. Yeah. Yeah, not too hot. Just about the right sweetness, so let's jar it up. Everything's been sterilised. That's the jars, the lids, the funnel and the spoon. In the oven, 105 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Kills any nasties. Why am I using jars, you say? Well, I've just realised I've given all my bottles away. I make so many sauces and ketchups, I've given them away. Note to self, buy more bottles. Quite cleverly, knowing that these jars were 190 ml each, I had exactly the right amount of chili sauce mix to fill them. Spot on. Perfect. Phew. Wipe the neck of the jars or bottles with a damp tissue or damp tea towel. This just wipes any stickiness off that stops the lids sticking down rock hard, and in some cases there may be a little speck of something on there and it stops them sealing properly. On with the lids. I've done them gently to start off with. I'll seal them all properly when I've wiped them all down. No point getting my hands hot twice. On with the labels. You've got to know what's in there, and you've got to know when you made it, and you want to know when it's going to run out of date. These will last about 3 or 4 months, I reckon, maybe a bit longer, and once open, stick them in the fridge. Well, there we are, guys. 4 jars of sweet chili sauce made with 1 chocolate habanero and 2 cayenne chilies. That'll keep me going for a while. I don't think my kids will appreciate it. Look after yourself, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.